Alrighty, fellow Deathbats and Lady Deathbats, welcome in to Nosage Timed. And in this video today, I kind of want to just talk about my year experience being in San Antonio, Texas, and what's going to happen for me next. So I made a decision to start off that I'm going to be going to a different city. I've been in San Antonio for like a year, um, and I just come to the realization that after this year and going through two jobs of people just deliberately harassing me because they don't know how to let things on the internet be stuff on the internet. They love to take it to the next level and just harass people for no reason at all and just be arrogant and just try to like bring people to their knees because they feel like they're playing a hero when in reality they're just a loser on the internet that's not accepting they're a loser on the internet. So there's been this so the reason I'm leaving San Antonio, Texas is for that and for just because I was working at a job and my hours started getting cut. I was being harassed and I was getting in trouble a couple times by random different people who claimed I'm racist or want to play that victim card and feel some sort of remorse about being a certain way. So it's my fault that they feel that way. So let's just clarify that. Everything is my fault that everybody feels. And if they're mad about something I say here, well then it's on me and they have every right in the world to go after me. No, no, you don't do that. If something's bothering you to that level, you just leave it go and you leave people just do what they need to. If people are complaining, well then, and not actually bullying you, well then you need to start understanding that that's on you, and you're letting that go to your head, and you need to try to move on from the situation at hand. Because if you can't, you're gonna keep pulling yourself back to the same shitty situation that you want over and over and over, and it's going to be not be fun after a while. It might even piss you off to the point where you feel like doing things you don't want to do. So I'm gonna clarify that. People have done that to me quite a bit, and it's unreasonably unfair. And it's best to handle stuff on the internet in a manner where if you are bothered by something on the internet, please do step off. At the end of the day, I'm not here to ruin your day. I'm just here to give my opinion and my take on things. And so let's get started. All right. So when I first got here over a year ago, I ended up coming down with not knowing what the hell to do. I was reading my Bible and everything in my house was just messing up. I kept having stuff happen to me. I kept having traumatic things and people just being really, really awful and not realizing that, hey, you know what? Like maybe he is going through a lot of stuff. Nope, I never see that go on in my life. So what happened was I was like, okay, well, I'm at the point where I've had enough of this. I think it's time to go somewhere. So I came here and I had a pretty good start when I first got here. I had a good start. Um, and I ended up getting a job in 3 days, and everything was good. I made friends, I met some pretty cool people, and I got an idea of what Mexican culture is really about. I got to taste the tacos, I got to eat some enchiladas, and people kept like really, really being helpful. But there came a point in time where the people being really helpful, somebody complained. Somebody threw a temper tantrum like a big baby. Now, I was working around this really depressed kid who was like, well, if I'm sad, people should be there for me. No, that's not how things work. If you're sad, you get over it yourself, you deal with it, or you stop harassing and attacking people and you let people have friends too because they're sad and they feel a certain way. Whoever put that in somebody else's head where you're not allowed to have friends because you're sad, but when I'm sad, I'm allowed to have friends. Hate to break it to you, but you're just rude and absurd, and you really don't deserve people in your life if you're going to keep being like that. You deserve to suffer greatly for punishing people and making people feel like they're unworthy of having any form of friends. All right? Um, at the end of the day, that experience really, really upset me because what that person was doing is making my experience, my good experience, turn south. because they wanted to be a selfish human being. And anytime I had something good going for myself to make me feel better, he would just pull it from me because he's always in a foul mood. He's always in a bad mood. So it just got to a point where he was just becoming a selfish brat. And that's part of where this whole story took the turn south. Because this person had such a problem with me and was so depressed and couldn't get out of their depressive state and felt like I was unworthy of having friends, they ended up having people start drama with me because of the fact that, well, I've been here longer than you. I'm allowed to do whatever I want. Fuck you. And that's where this whole thing ended up escalating and becoming bad because people literally felt sorry for this guy but wasn't thinking about how I felt on my end. And I was being treated in the worst manner ever, and people thought that I was being a legit asshole when nobody was there to talk to me or help me out of my depression or my state of bad or my bad state of mind, and it led me to going through all this other stuff where people were like threatening me. People were making me lose my job. And this happens a lot to me particularly because people who know me from Florida drag their asses all the way down here, spend a couple hundred, and go out of their way to heckle me. Now, this isn't the first time this happened to me, but this has been happening to me quite a bit, and that's where part two of the story will be that exact same routine. All right. Now, part one ended on a bad note. I lost my job. I lost the Airbnb I was in, and I did make some okay friends, but at the end of the day, those friends all started turning on me because somebody had to speak poorly of me and not try to understand or reason where I was coming from. So I've been through a lot of stuff. And then part two was a turnaround for me. I came down here. I'm homeless. I had nothing going on. I had nothing at all. I had what's on my back, which is now what I have once again, stuff that's on my back. But I found a job. Okay. I went, well, when, let's reverse a little bit. I came down here. I didn't know what to do. I was at a loss. I started looking for work, and I ended up finding work. I ended up finding out where everything is. All I did was search a few things, and then I got myself sort of back up and running, but there was still a lot of like agonizing suffering, and you know, being in this position I'm in, it it doesn't make you realize how much you take things for granted in life. A lot of people who are these big YouTubers or these headstrong people online or that have a bunch of things, they really take a lot for granted, and it would have to come to them to lose everything for them to understand how how bad how how egotistical they actually are compared to me, who isn't exactly egotistical, but does go through a lot of stuff due to people just trying to throw me under the bus all the time, or it's awful. But I started seeing a ray of light, and I got back up, and my first real job I had outside of my last job that got me to the point where I started doing good was a job at, I worked at Six Flags for a little bit. You guys seen some of the stuff I posted? I was working at Six Flags, and I had an incredible job. Um, I was given a really good opportunity, and I made good money. Well, that didn't set right with somebody here on this internet, somebody here online, somebody here on Twitter. It didn't set right with them at all. And so what they felt the need to do is find out where I work and go and harass me. So as this was going on, I ended up not being able to take the test for rides because the people that keep harassing me want to go to my job and think they're being funny, and I can only hope they learn from this and not do this again. But at the end of the day, they made me lose the position I had because they wanted to go and talk poorly about me to everybody they know. So the person that's been doing this has been doing this for like quite some time now. This has been going on since either Florida or this has been a new strain of people doing this. Either way, it's been getting old and I'm a little bit tired of it. But I had a good paying job. I had money set aside, and you know, the transition happened during around Easter when I took the fall again. I lost a good job and I had to switch down to a lower paying job because this person wasn't having it. And that wasn't to end. It didn't end there. San Antonio was treating me well, okay? But when I started working, everybody started turning against me. Like having a job was the thing that made me the evil person here. The reality of the truth is, it wasn't turning me out to be evil. I was actually doing well, and I was trying to get my butt off the street like I had planned. But for some reason, these people out here in San Antonio, they weren't having it with me. They weren't letting me have my win. So at one point, I dated a girl here. The first girl, man, oh man, I dated two women here. Okay, um, the first one just was she tried accusing me of stuff. Okay, and really tried getting me in trouble. And had literally tried getting me arrested at one point. She openly admitted to that. There's text showing that she was doing that and how evil and malicious, and she kept taking money on top of it. She was an awful human being. I hope she learned from this experience because that's all we can do is learn from our experiences, learn from being the awful human beings we are, and move on from it. Now, as that happened, that's when I ended up losing my position I had at the theme park. I was actually getting paid pretty good, and I lost it due to the fact that that went south. And then I guess people were going and heckling me at the job, or like her coming in to harass me to make sure I didn't have my job. And then I took the downfall again, and I'm still trying to experience the good things in San Antonio, but it didn't work out the way I had planned it. I've been doing so while this is all going on in this strain of time where I found this job and I lost this job. Let's go back into talking about how San Antonio was. San Antonio was great. It is a really laid back place and really just is a really if you like back places and you don't like bigger cities and you still want the bigger city feeling, this here's where you want to be. This here's the place you want to be. This has the Mexican culture, good food, um, and San Antonio has a really huge, it's called Riverwalk, where you just walk by this long river, and during the holidays it looks really cool. Like, it really looked really cool during the holidays, and there's certain parts around San Antonio that have special events going on. They really love celebrating around here. That's the one thing I will say about them. And going into after the part where I did, have my downfall, there were some other cool experiences in San Antonio after I got into this position of the new position actually. The new position paid me a little bit less, and people, again, they didn't like that I had this job. And for some reason, I don't know if the people at the shelters go after me or just people in general go and harass me, but I've gotten to the point where it's like, you really shouldn't be doing that to people who are working. If you know people are working, leave them the hell alone because they're working for their own benefit and they're working to make their money. But at the end of the day, people will continue to throw you under the bus because they have nothing fucking better to do. And that's the sad problematic part is like I've been screwed over numerous times here because their system doesn't want they won't allow their system to work in my favor. Because apparently I'm supposed to be down here and sit with these guys for 5 fucking years, waiting for my shining moment for 5 years later, and it's like at the end of the day, I shouldn't have to suffer as much as these guys because I've been working harder than these guys. But every time I got ahead, what was happening? Stipulations. People ruining it for me. And the whole city of San Antonio isn't bad. It's the people within the city that want to hold you back from moving ahead. Being homeless in San Antonio is not a good idea. If you're homeless in San Antonio, do not come here. Leave. Because they will hold you back and they will not let you get ahead. And they will ruin every bit of they will ruin you till you crack and want to leave, or they will literally ruin you and make you stay here. And this is a place where a lot of people that are stuck in my position do complain to me about this, about how like they won't let you get ahead. And I'm actually fully and 100% starting to understand why they say that. I'm ready to leave. I'm ready to get out of this position. I'm ready to get back into having a house. And I will say that San Antonio is not the place to go if you don't have a place to live. I'm getting the hell out of here tomorrow because all my experiences have led up to this bad point. And let's go back into more experiences in San Antonio. So I experienced more of the Mexican culture. They had fiesta at one point, which is pretty cool, but very, very overwhelming if you're not into big groups of people, or if you're just introvert. You don't want to be around. You don't really want to hang out here. It's a place that, you know, excuse me. It's a place that if you are here and and there's a big celebration, you're introverted, you're gonna want to walk away from everything. I tried going down and experiencing it, but it's so hard for me to get out of being introvert. Even in this position, I've had people try to do me so wrong for being introverted, and it like I'm literally leaving San Antonio because people were heckling me at my job again. This heckling has been going on for like longer than it needs to, and it's drawn me to the point of just really, really hoping the worst comes out of this outcome for this person. I didn't deserve to lose my job, and this is the problem is people want me to continue to lose my job because I mean well. I mean very well. I actually am not I really don't feel like I'm supposed to be in this position. But the fact that there are people out there that deliberately try to put me in this position and don't want to see me well has led me to leave this city. Where am I going next? I'm probably not going to say until I get there later on. But I really, really want you guys out there to understand this heckling of an individual or heckling me, its time has stopped. It's really brought me to a downfall in my life where I feel like there is no end or chance to get ahead. And people are like, I'm getting ready to leave tomorrow morning because of the people here not wanting me to get ahead. I want to go to a place where I don't have to worry about this. I want to go to a place where not everybody's gonna know where I am or like try to follow me around. And trust me, I've had some really bad experiences with that, where people just want to follow you around and then pretend they need to be around you or be nosy with you. Like, I don't understand why San Antonio is like this. I don't understand why they keep people trapped in their system. But when I leave and I start to do better, you guys are gonna know. And I'm hoping to get out of this fucking situation in the next few months because I'm sick of being here. I and during the cold season, I was cold. And then on top of it, they always want you to be at their shelters. They don't want you to escape their presence. They don't want you to escape their grasp. And the problem is them not wanting people to escape. They make money off of the homeless here, and that is why they hold the homeless hostage. At the end of the day, this is why I'm leaving San Antonio. Because I'm not allowed to get ahead here. I'm not allowed to have a job outside of their presences. I have to have a job within their system. If it's not in their system, then you're not worthy of you're not worthy of actually getting out. And that's the problematic part. I don't know who wanted me here. I don't know who wanted to put me here, but I need everybody to start understanding. I'm tired of this. I'm tired of being pushed to my breaking point every single day because some fuckwit on the internet just is fucking totally jealous of me. I'm getting tired of the internet idiots is what I want to call them, heckling me and trying to bring me to my knees on a daily basis. We have so many people on the internet here that have been adding on to this because don't know how to handle life and how things actually go. So at the end of the day, that's where I call this. If you wonder how San Antonio is, it's a great laid back place. But the story that I have is not something somebody wants to go through. And believe me, I'm hoping I do good here soon. I'm getting tired of being pulled and dragged away from like good jobs and good things that are meant to happen to me because some stipulation that somebody somewhere gets mad about. And at the end of the day, again, I am leaving this city and I'm never coming back here again. And I will continue to live by that word. And with that said, ladies and gentlemen, I hope you enjoyed this. I hope you know I am like really, really tired of this. And I want you guys to understand and know that maybe it's time that you all quit harassing people on the internet because people are just dealing with stuff and they probably don't want to deal with you and they probably don't want to deal with your drama and your dilemma and your problem in your life because you're a lonely person. I'm not going to sit here and feel bad for people on the internet who don't want to be happy. If you don't want to be happy, that's fine. That's on you. But I'm not going to feel guilty that I'm not making you happy. If you want to be happy, go seek Jesus Christ or go find something that's going to make you happy instead of heckling somebody. And with that said, take it easy and God bless you.